Words mean nothing when actions are silent. My friends, if you've ever sat in silence after someone said, "I love you," and felt more confused than comforted, this one's for you. Because let's face it, love today is loud in words, but quiet in proof. Anyone can say they care. Anyone can say you're special. But when the storm hits, when life gets inconvenient, when you're no longer easy to love, that's when truth shows up, or walks out. Now, hey folks, imagine this. Imagine someone gives you a beautifully wrapped box. The bow is perfect. The paper shines. You open it, and it's empty. That's what it's like when someone says, "I love you," but doesn't show it. Looks like love. Feels like potential. But there's nothing inside. Some people are artists of illusion. They paint love with their mouths, but erase it with their actions. And I get it. You've been told to wait, to be patient, to not rush love. But here's the lie they never told you. Real love doesn't hide. It reveals. It doesn't confuse. It clarifies. It doesn't make you feel replaceable. It reminds you that you are chosen. So today, I'm pulling the curtain back. I'm breaking down the 7 things women do when they genuinely love you, not when they're bored, not when they want control, not when they like the idea of you, but when they are truly present with their heart, their time, their energy, and their loyalty. This is your moment to stop settling for performance love. It's time to recognize the truth, because once you've seen how real love behaves, the fake stuff won't even tempt you anymore. And if you've never felt this kind of love, don't worry. You're not unlovable. You've just been looking in the wrong places and accepting the wrong proof. Stay with me, my friends. This is about to be real, raw, and revealing. Type in the comments, "I choose truth." Smash that like button. Subscribe for more. And remember this: demand actions, deny illusions, choose truth. Number 1. She wants to be seen beside you, not hide you in the shadows. If someone loves you in secret but fears the light, it's not love, it's strategy. Let's break something right now. You were never made to be hidden, never created to be someone's backup plan, someone's midnight call, someone they only love behind closed doors. If a woman genuinely loves you, she doesn't treat your presence like a guilty pleasure. She treats it like honor. She wants to be seen beside you, not because she needs to prove something to the world, but because you're her choice, not her secret. Imagine this: you're walking through a crowded street, holding someone's hand, not because it's convenient, not because it's staged for Instagram, but because that hand feels like home. Now imagine she lets go the moment her friends show up. Or worse, she crosses the street to avoid being seen with you. That's not love, brother. That's you being used as a shadow, a placeholder for her own comfort while she scans the room for something better. And I know what you might be asking yourself right now. But maybe she's shy. But maybe she's private. But maybe the timing's just not right. Let me ask you this: would you hide someone you're proud of? Would you be hesitant to bring the person who makes your heart feel safe around your tribe? People don't hide what they're proud of. They hide what they're unsure of. Or worse, what they're using. The lie society fed you is this: if she says she loves you, that's enough. No. Words are wind. Patterns are proof. And when a woman loves you, she wants your world to know. She opens her circle. She invites you in. She mentions you, not just when it's easy, but when it matters. You don't have to ask to be introduced. You don't have to beg to be acknowledged, because real love doesn't duck, it declares. And here's the hard part. Sometimes we accept being hidden because we're scared of being abandoned. We tell ourselves, at least I have something, but what's the point of holding a relationship in your hands that can't stand in the light? If it dies in daylight, it was never real to begin with. You're not here to be someone's mystery. You're here to be someone's mirror, reflecting what partnership, pride, and presence look like. You're not too much for the right one, and you'll never have to shrink to fit inside real love. If she hides you, she's hiding something else, and it's not your job to decode silence or chase visibility. It's your job to honor yourself enough to say, if you're not proud to claim me, then you don't get to keep me. So, my friends, write it in the comments. I will not be hidden. Say it for the part of you that was kept in the dark. Say it for the part of you that made excuses. Say it so loud the past gets nervous. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that you were never born to be someone's secret. You are someone's standard. And stay with me, because the next one will show you exactly what she's willing to give up just to see you win. You don't want to miss that. Number 2, she sacrifices comfort to see you happy. Love isn't proven in pleasure. It's proven in what someone's willing to endure just to see you smile. Let's be honest, talk is cheap and comfort is addicting. A lot of people will love you when it costs them nothing, when it's easy, when you don't ask too much, but the moment things get inconvenient, they ghost, they snap, they pull away. That's not love. That's transaction masquerading as care. If a woman genuinely loves you, she's not just there for the highlight reel. She shows up especially when the picture isn't perfect. She sacrifices, she adjusts, she bends, not to break, but to build. She's willing to give up some comfort to see you at peace. Not because she has to, not because you demanded it, but because your happiness actually matters to her. It's not background noise. It's part of her world now. Imagine she's had a long day, she's tired, drained, overwhelmed, but you had a rough one too. You barely spoke all day, and when you do, your tone is low, your eyes are heavy, and instead of checking out, she leans in, she listens. She puts her own stress aside for a moment, not because her needs don't matter, but because she knows that love is sometimes less about me and more about we. You might be wondering, isn't that too much to expect? No, what's too much is giving your loyalty to someone who can't even inconvenience themselves for you. What's too much is sacrificing your peace to keep someone who only shows up when it's fun. And yes, folks, there are limits. You're not meant to be her full-time therapist. She's not meant to sacrifice her entire identity. But if every request you make is too much, and every time you need support, she vanishes into silence, then I have to tell you the truth. She's not in love. She's in comfort. And when comfort gets challenged, she'll disappear. Real love sacrifices. Real love stays in the room when things get uncomfortable. Real love says, I don't understand what you're going through, but I'm here. There will be people who'll tell you, don't expect anyone to change for you. But that's half a truth. Because when someone genuinely loves you, they'll change certain habits, shift certain patterns, make certain moves. Not because you force them to, but because they want to grow with you. And if she never shifts, never bends, never gives up anything for your joy, then you're just orbiting her world, not building a shared one. So here's what I need you to understand. If she sacrifices sleep, time, ego, or even routine to make you feel seen, she's not just interested, she's invested. That kind of woman is rare, that kind of love, even rarer. But don't confuse obsession with sacrifice. If she's constantly abandoning herself just to keep you happy, that's not love either. That's self-destruction wearing a smile. Real love is balanced, voluntary, conscious, and rooted in mutual care. So the next time someone claims they love you, don't ask them to prove it with gifts. Watch what they give up when it matters. Because the real test isn't in their words, it's in what they're willing to lose just to see you win. Write it in the comments. Love sacrifices for growth. Say it out loud. Say it for the one who showed up. Say it for the one who never did. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that you know the difference between convenience and commitment. Stay with me, because next, we're diving into how real love doesn't just care about you. It cares about the people you care about. Number 3, she cares about the people you love. When someone loves you, they don't just ask about your heart, they learn the names of what makes it beat. My friends, love doesn't live in isolation. It doesn't lock itself in a room with just you and her. It expands, it reaches out, it cares. And one of the loudest signs a woman genuinely loves you, she starts to care deeply about the people who matter to you. Not because she has to, but because she knows they shaped you. Because your roots matter to her, not just your fruits. If you tell her your sister's sick, she remembers. If your mom is struggling, she checks in. If your best friend lost his job, she asks how he's doing. Because she knows that when your people hurt, you hurt. That's what love does. It doesn't look away. It doesn't wait for the crisis to pass before showing concern. It enters the emotional mess with you, even if she's never met them in person. Let me give you a picture. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a circle. Around you are the people you love, family, friends, the ones who've been there. Now imagine she steps into your life but refuses to even glance at the circle, doesn't ask, doesn't care, doesn't remember. That's not love. That's a solo performance with you as her audience. And yes, maybe she's introverted. Maybe she's not great with people. That's okay. Loving your people doesn't mean forcing herself into every family event or texting your friends every week. It means she honors them through you. It means she listens when you talk about them. It means she supports you when they need you. It means when something matters to you, it matters to her too. But if every time you bring them up, she changes the subject, if every time you're there for someone else, she calls it a distraction, if she only sees your world through the lens of how it affects her, that's not love. That's control in disguise. You see, a woman who genuinely loves you won't try to isolate you from your circle. She'll try to understand it, because she knows the ones who raised you, stood with you, or walked through fire with you deserve respect by association. Real love doesn't compete with your loyalty. It complements it. And I know what you might be thinking. But my past relationships made me choose her or them. That's not love. That's manipulation dressed in emotional language. Because when someone truly loves you, they want to understand the chapters that came before them, even if they weren't in those pages. They care about the scars, the history, the names in your phone who matter. Not to control you, but to connect with the full picture of who you are. And trust me, you'll feel it. The way she asks, "How's your brother doing?" even when you forgot to mention it. The way she says, "Do you want to check in on your dad?" when you're tired but worried. The way she listens when you vent about your best friend, not because she knows him, but because she knows you. That's not performance. That's not pretending. That's presence. So my friends, write it in the comments. Love cares about what I care about. Say it loud. Say it for the people who raised you. Say it for the people she ignored. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that real love doesn't erase your connections. It embraces them. And stay close, because next we're going to talk about something even deeper. How real love doesn't fight your rhythm. It learns to move with it. Number 4. She moves with the rhythm of your life. Real love doesn't interrupt your flow. It learns your rhythm and dances beside it. My friends, everyone wants to be loved, but very few are willing to adjust themselves to understand love. You see, when a woman genuinely loves you, she doesn't just show up like a lightning bolt, flashing and fading. She studies your rhythm. She watches your routine. She learns the music of your life. And then she begins to move with it. This isn't about losing herself. This isn't about becoming your shadow. No, this is about harmony, because the truth is, you can't walk long-term with someone who moves to a completely different beat and refuses to adapt. Picture this. You're a man who wakes up early, you hit the gym, you plan your day with discipline. Maybe you need silence in the morning or deep focus in the evening. Now imagine she constantly interrupts that flow, laughs at your routines, asks why you're so strict, tells you to loosen up, be more fun. That's not love, it's resistance. That's someone who doesn't respect the structure that protects your peace. But when a woman truly loves you, she leans in. She asks, "What time do you get up? What helps you stay focused? How can we make this work together?" She doesn't bulldoze your boundaries. She studies them, honors them. Not because she's trying to be perfect, but because she's trying to fit, not force. You might wonder, but what if we're just different? What if she likes staying up late and I like early mornings? Good question. Here's the truth. Different rhythms don't ruin love, but refusal to adjust does. Love doesn't mean becoming a clone of the other person. It means creating a shared tempo, a sync, a space where two people with different lives can still meet in the middle and move forward in time. But if she constantly asks you to give up your rhythm, if she tells you to skip your workout, cancel your goals, ignore your flow just to please her, then she's not trying to build with you. She's trying to absorb you. And folks, let me tell you something no one likes to say out loud. You can love someone and still be incompatible. You can care for someone deeply, but if they never respect the cadence of your life, you'll always feel exhausted around them. Because you're not dancing, you're dragging. But when she listens, when she adapts, when she notices what energizes you and creates space for it, that's not luck, that's real love in motion. That's someone who wants to walk with you, not run ahead or pull you behind. You don't need someone who matches every habit, but you deserve someone who respects your process. Someone who doesn't treat your discipline like it's boring. Someone who sees your structure not as a prison, but as a path to peace. So my friends, say it with me in the comments. Love respects my rhythm. Say it for the version of you that stayed consistent when no one clapped. Say it for the days you woke up early and built alone. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that your peace is not up for negotiation. And stay close, because next we're going deeper into what happens when she's not just proud to stand with you, but proud to shout your name from every rooftop. Number 5, she's proud of your accomplishments, even the small ones. When someone truly loves you, your wins feel like theirs. Your growth feels like a shared celebration. Let's break this down, my friends, because real love doesn't shrink when you rise. It claps louder, it leans in, it celebrates you, not just when the spotlight hits, but even when no one's watching. And a woman who genuinely loves you, she doesn't just tolerate your ambition, she fuels it, she protects it, she becomes the firewood to your flame. Too many of you have been with people who go silent when you shine, who suddenly get cold when you start leveling up, who say things like, "Don't let it get to your head," instead of, "I'm proud of you, baby, keep going." That's not love. That's quiet competition. And you don't need a rival in your relationship. You need a teammate. Imagine this. You land a promotion. You're not looking for a parade. You just want a little recognition, a "well done," a look in her eyes that says, "I see how hard you worked for that." But instead, she barely reacts, changes the subject, or worse, makes it about her. "Must be nice. I wish something good would happen to me too." My brother, that's not support. That's a passive attack in pretty words. A woman who loves you genuinely, she becomes your loudest cheerleader. She hypes you up in rooms you're not even in. She posts about your small wins like they're world records. She brags about you, not to stroke your ego, but because your success is her pride. Not because she needs your light, but because she loves standing beside someone who shines. And here's the truth that stings a little. If your success makes her insecure, she was never clapping for you in the first place. She was measuring herself against you, waiting for the moment she felt ahead again. That's not love. That's emotional competition in disguise. And it will drain you. Real love doesn't get jealous, it gets inspired. Real love doesn't fear your greatness, it pushes you toward it. Real love doesn't say, "That's enough." It says, "What's next?" You may be asking, "But what if I'm not at the top yet?" Let me stop you right there. You don't have to be a millionaire, a CEO, or some celebrity to deserve that kind of support. If she loves you, she celebrates you for the man you are and the man you're becoming. She sees the grind, not just the glory. She compliments your growth, not just the result. And don't let anyone tell you you're being too needy for wanting that. That's not neediness, that's emotional partnership. You were never meant to walk this road with someone who pretends to care when it benefits them. You were meant to grow with someone who gets excited when you win, because it means you're both moving forward. So my friends, write this in the comments. Real love claps for me. Say it for the version of you that used to downplay your success. Say it for the wins you never got recognized for. Show them, show yourself. Show the world around you that your light was never meant to be dimmed and the right one will always, always cheer you on. And stay close, because next we're entering the battlefield, where love doesn't just celebrate, it fights for you, for the bond, for what's worth keeping. Number 6, she fights for you, not against you. When love is real, the argument isn't about who wins, it's about not losing each other. Let's get this straight, my friends. Every relationship has battles, every love story has storms, but the kind of woman who genuinely loves you, she doesn't pick fights to tear you down. She shows up to fight for the bond, not her ego. You see, love isn't always pretty. It's not soft music and matching pajamas every night. Sometimes love looks like sitting across from each other with clenched jaws and heavy hearts, but still choosing to stay in the room. Still choosing to listen. Still choosing to fix what's broken instead of throwing it away. There's a difference between a woman who argues to understand and a woman who argues to dominate. One builds connection, the other builds resentment. One listens through the heat, the other waits for her turn to destroy. And if you've ever been in a relationship where every disagreement felt like a war zone, where you left feeling smaller instead of seen, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine this, you're opening up, trying to explain what hurt you, and instead of leaning in, she mocks your tone, flips it on you, turns it into your fault. Suddenly, you're the villain in your own story. That's not love, that's emotional warfare. That's someone using your vulnerability as ammunition. But when a woman genuinely loves you, she doesn't fear conflict. She respects it. She understands that sometimes two people clash, not because they don't care, but because they do. She doesn't avoid the hard conversations. She doesn't run at the first sign of tension, and she definitely doesn't weaponize your pain. Instead, she looks you in the eye and says, "I don't want to be right. I want us to be good." Now I know some of you might be wondering, but what if she gets angry sometimes? Listen, anger is human, but love knows how to come back to the table. Love says sorry. Love repairs. Love remembers that the goal is peace, not power. And here's the lie we need to break. If we fight, it means we're not meant to be. No, if you never fight, it might mean someone's silent, suppressing, or scared. But if every fight turns into character assassination, blame games, or punishment, then you're not in love. You're in a power struggle. The woman who truly loves you will show you this. Fighting isn't the problem. Fighting wrong is. She'll choose solution over silence, accountability over defensiveness, partnership over pride. And that kind of love is rare, because it's not about being perfect. It's about being present, even when it's messy. So stop measuring love by how little you argue. Start measuring it by how quickly you both come back to the middle. The middle ground is where real love lives. And if she refuses to meet you there, if her ego is louder than her empathy, if she walks away every time instead of leaning in, then she's not building with you, she's battling against you. So my friends, type it in the comments. Love chooses repair. Say it for the arguments you walked through alone. Say it for the days you had to be the one to always apologize first. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that your heart deserves peace, not power plays. And stay with me, because next we're going to the quietest yet most powerful part of love, the way she listens, not just with her ears, but with her soul. Number 7. She listens with her soul, not just her ears. Anyone can hear your words, only the right one feels your silence. My friends, let's take it deeper now, because there's something more powerful than grand gestures and loud declarations. It's something quieter, something so rare in this loud world that when you find it, it feels like coming home. It's the way she listens. Not just to your voice, but to your pauses, your tone, the things you didn't say, but meant, the sigh you let out when you thought no one noticed, the way your energy drops, even though your smile stays on. That's what real love catches. That's what a woman who genuinely loves you tunes into. You've met people who nodded through your words, but didn't absorb a thing. You've explained your heart to deaf ears. You've begged for understanding from someone who only waited for their turn to talk. And that right there, that's not listening. That's performance. A woman who truly loves you listens like your thoughts matter. She's not checking her phone mid-conversation. She's not brushing off your concerns with, "You'll be fine." She's locked in, present, alert. And not because she's trying to be perfect, but because your emotions have weight in her world. When something's bothering you, she doesn't need you to scream. She leans into your silence and says, "Talk to me. I know something's off." That kind of listening is spiritual. It's the difference between someone who's in the room with you and someone who's actually with you. But let's get honest, some of you are so used to being ignored that you've stopped speaking. You've been told you're too emotional, or too intense, or too much. So you shut it down, you toughen up, you tell yourself, nobody's gonna understand anyway. And then someone comes along, and instead of telling you to man up, she says, "I hear you, I get it, I'm here." That's the moment your armor cracks. Not because you're weak, but because for the first time, it's safe to be real. Now don't get it twisted. Listening isn't about agreeing with everything. It's not about fixing every issue. It's about making space. Space for your truth. Space for your doubt. Space for your dreams, your failures, your fears. And if she genuinely loves you, she doesn't just make space, she protects it. She doesn't throw your vulnerabilities back at you during an argument. She doesn't mock what you once confessed in trust. She holds your truth with care. And here's the hardest truth. If she never listens, she never loved. If she constantly talks over you, dismisses you, mocks your worries, or says you're too sensitive every time you open up, that's not love. That's erosion. That's someone slowly convincing you that your voice doesn't matter. And when your voice doesn't matter in a relationship, you start disappearing inside it. You deserve more than that. You deserve someone who listens like your soul is speaking. Someone who doesn't need to agree with everything, but never makes you feel foolish for saying it. Someone who hears your silence louder than your words. Because when the right one listens to you, you begin to listen to yourself again. So, my friends, this is the final test, the last pillar, the quietest but most powerful sign. Watch how she listens. When you're happy, when you're hurt, when you're raw, when you're real, that's when you'll know. Not because of what she says, but because of how deeply she hears. Write this in the comments right now. My voice matters. Say it for the times you stayed quiet to keep the peace. Say it for the conversations that died before they began. Say it for the boy inside you who was never really heard. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you that your words, your emotions, your presence, they all matter. And if this hit home, if you felt seen through this video, press that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We don't do surface level here. We go deep. We speak truth. We rise strong. Because here, we don't chase love. We recognize it, we respect it, and we rise in it. Stay strong, stay clear, stay real.